Welcome back to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sapp. Well, today, man, we got to talk about it, man. The Pittsburg Steelers just beat the Cleveland Browns 23-9, and Tony Grossi cannot say nothing else about Dillon Gabriel being better than Shedeur Sanders. And we're going to unpack all that here next here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, man, I'm here to tell you, man, as I was sitting there watching that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns, I got a message from one of my supporters talking about, I wonder what Tony Grossi going to say now about Dillon Gabriel. How is he going to protect Dillon Gabriel after this dismal performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers? And I got to thinking to myself, Tony Grossi has created this narrative about Dillon Gabriel being way better than Shador Sanders, and that Dillon Gabriel is more ready to play the NFL game than Shedeur Sanders. Dillon Gabriel today went out there and was dismal. Dillon Gabriel, the offense that's set up around Dillon Gabriel is all these check downs. And for Tony Grossi to say that Shedeur Sanders has weak arm talent, he can't throw the ball down the field, what did we just sit there and witness with Dillon Gabriel? This is no knock on Dillon Gabriel. This is a knock on Tony Grossi for his evaluation of Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders. Dillon Gabriel cannot push the ball down the field. Today, the same thing we saw last week against the Minnesota Vikings is the same thing that we saw today against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I sat there and said to myself, Minnesota Vikings are the most blitzed team in the NFL. We blitz 63% of the time. Last week against Cleveland, we blitzed 16%. Today, it was nothing special that Pittsburgh did. Pittsburgh Steelers had 6 sacks on Dillon Gabriel. Why would I say that? Because Tony Grossi, the narrative that he created in the last preseason game against the Rams, he said this about Shedeur Sanders. He got sacked 5 times, but Shador Sanders got sacked 5 times with a makeshift offensive lineman. Now you got the real troops in, and Dillon Gabriel still got sacked 6 times. Dillon Gabriel throwing the ball down the field, missing throws. It seems like him and the wide receivers and the tight ends are not on the same page. It's sometimes that he was throwing the ball faster than what a joker get his head turned around. He threw that one right off of Harold Fannin Jr.'s head. He threw it off the tight end's head. He missed Jerry Jeudy a couple times down the field. His ball placement down the field is inaccurate. Dillon Gabriel is an inaccurate passer going down the field. If you expect Dillon Gabriel to roll out the whole game and dip and dunk and see what happened, they stopped Judkins from running the ball, and there was no threat to Pittsburgh pushing the ball down the field. You got 9 measly points. You got 3 field goals. You was in the red zone, and you could not even capitalize. Dillon Gabriel is not the answer right now for the Cleveland Browns. It's time to give Shedeur Sanders, number 12, a chance to see what he can do in the NFL. Because once Shedeur Sanders gets them keys and he performs, Dillon Gabriel is not going to see that field no more. And what does Tony Grossi got to say now? I want to hear from Tony Grossi. Anybody that's watching this video, please shoot this video to Cleveland, ESPN.com, out there, 92.3 The Fan, because Tony Grossi, there's no way that you can protect Dillon Gabriel from Shedeur Sanders no more. So you can't speak about Dillon Gabriel no more, talking about Dillon Gabriel is ready, more ready than Shador Sanders to play on an NFL football field. Now, today, Dillon Gabriel threw the ball 52 times. He was 29 of 52 for 221 yards, averaging 4 yards per reception. He was sacked 16 times and lost, sacked 6 times and lost 38 yards in them sacks. He had a QB rating of 63.3. That is dismal. And like I said, Keyshawn Junkins from last week, when he gashed the Minnesota Vikings today, 12 carries, 36 yards. Now you're talking about the receiving core. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy, he had 5 catches for 43 yards, but he missed Jerry Jeudy a couple times. Yeah, I know Jerry Jeudy had that one drop ball, but also Harold Fannin, Jr. had 7 receptions for 81 yards. But all that came in garbage time, empty calories when Pittsburgh Steelers had already put the game away. So I don't want nobody talking about Dillon Gabriel's numbers of the 221 yards passing. Majority of that came in garbage time where it was meaningless because Pittsburgh had already sealed the game and they was playing in prevent and they was giving him anything underneath when they was running the 2-minute offense. And once again, you got to get your wide receivers involved. Gage Larvindon, man, 2 catches, 22 yards. Come on, man. You got to get him more involved. Jamari Thrash, 2 catches. And then your running backs. Your running back, Jerome Ford, had 5 catches coming out of the backfield, but only had for 13 yards. Majority of them was some lost yardage. So I don't know what Kevin Stefanski's offense is doing to even help Dillon Gabriel push the ball down the field. Everything looks simplified. And at this time, man, Tony Grossi, I want to hear what you got to say about Dillon Gabriel, because you telling Tony Rizzo that, oh, what have you done for me lately? What has Dillon Gabriel done for the Cleveland Browns, man, these last 2 games, man? He's been lethargic in both of them. And you tell me that he played a good game today, I beg to differ. So anybody that knows football and watched today's game, Dillon Gabriel is not a threat to beat nobody in the NFL. With the scheme that Kevin Stefanski is running right now, they won't get it done. You have to push the ball down the field and give your playmakers a chance. He missed Jerry Jeudy striding into the end zone, overthrew him. If y'all look, all the balls that he throws down the middle are high and overthrown. Some of them are down in the dirt. Some of them behind the target. He don't have pinpoint precision passes, man. That's why everybody wants to see Shedeur Sanders. Now, all the footage that's going on with Shedeur Sanders now in practice that people are putting on social media, the accuracy. Y'all heard what Mary Kay Cabot said. Now, Mary Kay Cabot, she was hating on Shedeur from the beginning, but now she's come around because she said Shedeur is looking spectacular in practice with the pinpoint passes, the accuracy, the arm talent. Even Jerry Jeudy said about Shedeur Sanders' arm talent, man. He throws one of the best balls in the NFL. And then you got the defensive backs for the Cleveland Browns talking about the way Shedeur Sanders throws the ball. You got David Njoku speaking up for Shedeur Sanders. Myles Garrett, man. Fanning. So, Tony Grossi, your evaluation of Dillon Gabriel, man, over Shedeur Sanders has to be looked at a little bit more careful, man. Because if you sitting there and you watch the way Dillon Gabriel played today and you come on the radio show tomorrow talking about he looked best and the team just has to do better, man, you are straight out asinine and diabolical, man. Tony Grossi, we need answers. There's no way that you can speak for Dillon Gabriel no more. Shedeur Sanders, number 12. We want to see Shedeur. Give Shedeur a shot. Let's see what this offense looks like with Shedeur Sanders in the game, because we know Shedeur Sanders can push the ball down the field. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Droppin' podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.